Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to this video. As you can tell by the title, my teacher lied to give me lunch detention. This one I wasn't too happy about. There's also a video of mine that's pretty similar to this, which is, I believe it's called They Lied to Give Me Lunch Detention. It's kind of similar. It's not about like the same thing or the same story, but you know, it has a similar title because, you know, again, there was lies that went on that got me lunch detention. So anyways, so basically what the setting of the story is like, you know, I was at school just having a normal day and originally my English teacher at the beginning of the year, like at least like the first 3 days, she was really nice. She was pretty cool, you know, I liked her. She was like she was like a class that I looked forward to. I was like, you know, I don't really see what the purpose of, you know, grammar is as long as you get your point across. And then, you know, like, I was like, I don't care about grammar. Like, I don't see the point of grammar unless you get your point across, you know. If like as long as you get your point across, grammar doesn't really matter. But I was like, you know, but still, yeah, but I still like that class because even though like the teacher and I seem to be like, I don't know, she just doesn't seem to be like mean, you know. She seems to be like a nice teacher, you know. I kind of liked her. She was like a cool teacher, man. You know, it's like, I always looked forward to that class. And then, like, the fourth or fifth day, I was like, alright, yeah, time to go to, you know, English. Like, time to go to English class and, you know, learn English, because that's what you do in English class. And I got there, and I don't know, I mean, it didn't seem like anything was off at first. I just went and sat down, and I was like, yeah, because, you know, like, basically what was something that I also liked about that class is because we had, like, for the first like 3 or 4 days there was some French stuff in that class. There was, like, you know, French words, and like we were like, there was one book that was called Bonne Année, which is French for Happy New Year. And so she was like, alright, your homework is to read this and then, you know, do like the questions, like, you know, being like, why blah 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 about like the story. And she was like, your homework is, and then she was like, uh-oh, you know, like, because she didn't want to, like, you know, try to pronounce it because she didn't know how to. And I raised my hand and she called on me, and I said, it's French, and I said, it's pronounced Bonne Année, and it's French for Happy New Year. And she was like, thank you. And, you know, she seemed like a pretty cool teacher. I liked it because, you know, I got to translate French in that class. It was English class that I got to translate French in. I liked that class. So then the fourth day, you know, or the like fourth or fifth day, you know, I mean, nothing really seemed off at first, but then the class got, like, you know, it just, I don't know, it just kind of seemed like weird. I was like, huh, today seems like after a little bit after that, I was like, huh, you know, I have, this feels weird, I don't know, I just got like a weird feeling, and I was like, this seems odd, you know, maybe there's like a pep rally or something today, I don't know. And, you know, there was no pep rally. You know, I was like, alright, time to go translate some French. So I went in there, and I was gonna, you know, enjoy that class and everything. And like I said, something seemed off. I wasn't really sure what, but, you know, so it ended up like, you know, basically I had gone, the week before that, I had gone on vacation to a place, let's just say that, a place. I had gone on vacation for a week that was out of state. I wasn't in the state. I was out of state, and, you know, like my mom had emailed the teacher before that and was like, can you make a lesson plan or whatever, like that way, you know, I can catch up on my work while I'm gone and stuff. Like I was planning on bringing my backpack with me that way, you know, like during the vacation, I could, you know, do some of my schoolwork and some of my homework and stuff. That way I didn't have to, you know, get too far behind. And I didn't have to catch up too much. And so she made the lesson plan like a day or two before, you know, I actually left. She, you know, like went over and told me and wrote it down in my notebook and stuff. That way I could do it. And well, since it was out of state, we had to go on a plane. We had to ride a plane. So and you know, if you guys really know like a plane and stuff, you'll know that you can't basically you can't take a backpack on a plane because the airport won't allow it, because you know, like you could hide guns or something in there or something like that. I don't know, but you know, some crap. The airport won't allow you to bring guns. I mean, not guns. Well, yeah, they won't allow you to bring guns, obviously, but they won't allow you to bring backpacks in the airport. So I wasn't able to do that. I wasn't able to bring it. I was like, oh, that sucks, because you know, actually, I didn't want to like get too far behind. I wanted to actually be able to keep up on my work and crap. So, you know, I wasn't able to bring it. And when I got back, then, you know, for my other classes and stuff, I just did my work and stuff, and the teachers weren't like, blah, 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 I don't really know. The teachers weren't like, you know, blah, 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 like Karens and crap, and like Karens or Kyles or whatever, and I was like, alright, you know, that vacation was worth it. And then I got to English class, and I was like, you know, this doesn't seem too well. You know, like, at first she didn't really, like, usually whenever I went in, she would be like, oh, hi, or something like that, and she would, like, you know, she would usually brag about me and the crap, and she was like, that day she didn't, like, say hi whenever I went to go in. She didn't say hi, and I was like, that's odd, but maybe she just didn't see me, or, you know, just forgot to say hi today or something. I get into class, and then she start like going around and checking the homework and crap, and she's like, she, you know, calls my name and is like, all right, let me see your homework. And I'm like, I was out of state, I couldn't do it. I was out of state, I couldn't do it. And she was like, well, I made a lesson plan for you, that way you could do it, and you chose not to do it. I just kind of, you know, I didn't really say anything, like, I just didn't really do crap that day. I didn't really do anything that day. I didn't, like, say anything back to her that day, just because I was like, you know, it's better off I don't say anything to her. And she, you know, I was pretty PO'd, not gonna lie, but I just didn't say anything because I felt it would be better, but I just didn't say anything. So I didn't say anything. The next day, or I got, like, you know, back in my car, like, my mom picked me up, and I was like, hey, you remember Miss Karen? That's what I'm gonna call her for the purpose of the story. Remember Miss Karen, and how you emailed her and said to make a lesson plan for me? And my mom was like, yeah. And I was like, well, Miss Karen started fussing at me today, and was like, you know, I made a lesson plan for you, and you chose not to do it. And I was like, you know, I don't know what to do. And my mom was like, you know what, just, you know, say, and my mom was like, you know what, I emailed her, I emailed her saying that you weren't going to be able to bring your backpack. And so the next day I get to school, and we sit, like, in these, like, basically we have individual desks. I'm pretty sure you guys know what that looks like. We have individual desks, but they're, like, you know, they're moved in that class. In that class we have individual desks, and, you know, but they're, like, moved, like, four are moved, like, right beside each other to make a little table of desks. So I get there, and my friend who sits in the desk beside me is like, I get there, and I'm like, alright, will you be my witness? And he's like, sure. And he doesn't really know what's about to go on. And so I'm like, so you'll be my witness, right? And he's like, sure. And I'm like, you know, just in case she tries to lie or something, you know, well, basically, whenever, like, I told her that I didn't have my you know, my stuff, like I wasn't able to bring my backpack and everything, she gave me a yellow card, which basically is like you can get a yellow card or like 2 yellow cards or whatever, and then you get a red card. And yellow card is like a warning, and you also have to pay off, well, she uses this like her own little kind of, like she doesn't use like our school, basically in our school we have this little currency thingy. I'm not gonna say the name because you know that would kind of get out the name of my school, so I'm just gonna call them school dollars. So you know, it's like she used to use school dollars, and instead of that she was like, you know what, instead of doing that, and like I said, you know, she actually named them after herself, but again, I call her Karen for the purposes of the story. So instead of calling them what they're actually called, I'm gonna call them instead of calling them you know what they're actually called, I'm gonna call them Karen bucks, because I just feel like calling that. So you know, if you get like a yellow card or whatever, if you get like 2 yellow cards or whatever, I don't know, you gotta pay off like some Karen bucks. Basically, instead of using like school bucks, she uses Karen bucks, and school bucks you can go in the cafeteria or whatever, like during some just like specific days, like either, I think it's like every Tuesday maybe, that you can go in there and you can trade off your school bucks for like, you know, candy or something. Like well, yeah, really just candy. And so she was like, I want to introduce y'all to the new world, or I mean not to the new world, to the real world. So instead of using school bucks, I'm gonna use Karen bucks. So instead of using school dollars, I'm gonna use Karen bucks. So I was like, alright then, I didn't really know what to say. I mean, really quickly, before I get ahead of myself, I just want to say, like, why do people say live your childhood as long as you can, and, you know, treasure and everything? Like, live your childhood as long as you can. Don't try to, like, mature up and everything, and try to live your childhood as long as you can. That way, you know, and cherish it as well. But yet, the second you do something childish, like, you know, in 8th grade or like 7th grade, I guess necessarily just 8th grade and above, the second you do something like, you know, not necessarily childish, but, you know, more, you know, basically you're saying like, live your childhood, but I'm gonna introduce you to reality. Congratulations, murder's real. Also people get kidnapped, and well, that's not I'm not gonna go there. Anyways, but you know, crap like that, and it's like, the second you do something childish or something like that, people are like, grow up, you know, mature, but like, you just told me to live my childhood as long as I can, so what the heck? And, you know, so I was like, alright, well that's weird, and I didn't mind it too much, because I was like, you know, this shouldn't be too bad. And then I thought I heard her say something about, like, if you don't, like, you know, every week you have to pay, like, 4, like, you know, rent, like, you have to pay, like, rent and taxes, so you have to pay, like, you know, $4 or whatever, like 4 Karen bucks to her. And I was like, alright, that's kind of stupid. And then she was like, and then I thought I heard her say, or else you'll lose your desk and you'll have to stand up and do classwork. And I was like, I was ready to say some crap. And by that I mean, like, I was ready to say crap, and, you know, like, literally I was gonna say, like, crap, are you freaking kidding me? Because I was really mad, because, like, it's stupid that, you know, if you don't pay it or whatever, then, like, even, like, for the school bucks, you don't even have to pay taxes and crap, you know, like, you don't get them for doing, like, the little jobs or whatever, like, those are only Karen bucks, and you have to pay taxes and rent and other crap. But school bucks, you just get, you know, school bucks, you just get, for school bucks, you just get, like, you just get them for doing, like, if you may, like, maybe if you hold the door coming back from outside, like, you know, maybe if you're coming in from, I'd call it outside, but, you know, other people call it recess, but once you get into middle school, I don't really feel like calling it outside. But anyways, I'm in recess, so basically, if you're coming in from recess or whatever, and, you know, you hold the door, then a teacher might see you and be like, oh, that was nice, you know, that was like school buck worthy, and they'll give you like a school buck or two or whatever, and you'll be like, nice, I got, you know, a school buck or two or whatever, however many you got, you'll be like, nice, I got some, and you don't have to pay taxes or rent or anything, you just get them. It's more rare for some people, but you know, you just get them and then that's it. But no, for Karen bucks, you have to like sit there and pay rent and a bunch of other crap. And so I'm like, why would she do this? So then another kid is like, what happens if you don't pay off your rent and your taxes? Well, a different day, another kid was like, what happens if you don't pay off your rent and your taxes or whatever? And she was like she just shook her head, like nothing, like no, as in saying like nothing will happen. And I was like, yeah, we don't lose our desk or anything. And then the kid who sits beside me, who I asked to be my witness like a couple days before, is like, if you don't pay it off at the end of the year, it should count as a grade. And she was like, thanks, I'll use that. And then she was like, at the end of every quarter, it's a grade. And then everybody in the class started heckling him and booing the kid. Cause like, why? Like, why? It's hard. Like, literally, you only get like 20 Karen bucks to begin with. And, you know, there's only, I don't know how many jobs, there's only a certain amount of jobs, and, you know, so not everybody can get a job there. Like, you know, there's, like, one that's, like, the professor, so every time we do, like, our like, warm-up or whatever, or start, or whatever you want to call it, then the professor goes up there and is like, this is the word of the day, blah, 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 this is, like, you know, the edit, and, like, you know, somebody will raise their hand, and he'll be like, you know, your name or whatever, he'll say their name, and then they'll be like, is there a comma between whatever and whatever, I don't know, but anyways, and he would be like, no, there isn't, or yes, there is, and then, you know, he would write it there, like, with a marker on the board, and, you know, so not everybody can get a job, you know, not everybody can get one of the jobs, because there's only, like, there's only a little bit, there's only, like, I don't know, maybe 10, there's like 30 people in the class, so the majority of people don't even have it, like 2/3 of the people don't even have a job. That way they can get paid. I mean, even if you do get paid, you still gotta pay taxes, but if you don't get paid, like, you know, or I don't know, but anyways, but you know, if you have a job, you'll get paid like Karen bucks, and it's pretty stupid because then it's like, you know, it counts as a grade, and the majority of people can't get a job. So how is everybody supposed to do this? And, you know, but anyways, so I actually ran out of Karen bucks like a few days ago, or like a week ago, but that's because, like, you know, like I said, I was on vacation for like a week, and I was out of the state, I couldn't bring my backpack, so I wasn't able to do it. And, you know, like I said, she was like, where's your homework? I'm like, I was out of state, I wasn't able to do it, and she's like, well, I gave you the lesson plan and everything, and you chose not to do it, and I was like, I couldn't bring my backpack because we were going on a plane, and she's like, well, that's too bad, I made the lesson plan, and you shouldn't have asked me to make it if you weren't going to be able to bring your backpack. And I was like, well, I mean, I didn't really say it, but, you know, like, a day or two later, I was like, you know, remember before when you, like, well, no, I think it might have actually been that same, well, yeah, it was the same day, like, right after she said that, I was like, actually, it was a surprise vacation, and so I didn't know where I was going. They did not tell me. They didn't tell me I was gonna, from what I knew, I was gonna be going on the beach. I was gonna be going to the beach, and I was like, you know, if we're going to the beach, we can ride in a car, you know, so I was like, yeah, we're gonna be going to the beach, we're gonna ride in the car so I can bring my backpack. And so I was like, yeah, you know, but like, I never said it to the teacher. My mom emailed the teacher, because as far as we were, like, well, my mom knew that we were, I don't know, but anyways, my mom knew we were gonna be going on a plane, and so I didn't know, I thought, but anyways, So the teacher was, so I said, I didn't know it was a surprise vacation. I didn't even know we were going to be going on a plane. I thought we were going to be going to the beach. That's all I knew. And then once my uncle got there to pick me up to go, because, you know, he was going to be the one, they were going to be basically like my parent / guardian there while I was there, since my mom wasn't going to be coming and my dad was going to be coming. So, you know, so I was like, well, I didn't even know. For all I knew, we were just going to be going to the beach. And I thought, you know, I was going to be able to bring my backpack. And then he said that I couldn't bring it because, you know, I don't know, he just said I couldn't bring it. And I was like, can I bring my backpack? And he was like, no, you won't be able to. And there won't be enough room. And I was like, alright, fine then. You know, I just didn't bring it. And because, like, you know, he says there's not going to be enough room. He knows where we're going, and I don't. So, but then, you know, the teacher's like, well, I made the lesson plan for you. And I'm like, I mean, I didn't say it out loud, but I'm thinking, like, that's pretty stupid. I didn't know where we were going to be going. And I never said, and she's like, you shouldn't have asked me to make the lesson plan for you. And she's like, you shouldn't have asked me to make the lesson plan for you if you know, you weren't going to be able to bring it. And I mean, I didn't, like, and I said, well, I didn't say it out loud, but, you know, I was thinking, like, I literally never, like I said, I didn't say it out loud, but I was thinking, like, you know, I literally never asked you to make a lesson plan. That was my mom who emailed you. And then I said, this is what I said out loud. But my mom emailed you saying that I wasn't going to be able to bring my backpack. And then my teacher was like, or my English teacher was like, no, once you got back, she sent me an email saying that that you didn't bring your backpack. And I was like, I was like, okay, and I just kind of nodded my head being like, alright, you know, I'll tell that to her, but, like, I didn't say that out loud, you know, I was just, like, nodding my head and being like, okay, yeah. And then my mom picked me up, and I was like, she said that, I said, like, when did you send her the email? And she was like, when you got back, I sent an email saying, oh, well, actually, he didn't take his backpack. And I was like, well, now she's saying that, and now I'm, like, in debt, because, like I said, I actually ended up running out of them, because, you know, like, if you don't do the homework or whatever, she gives you debt, and then you have to, like, you know, basically, you're in debt, and, like, you know, you have negative whatever Karen bucks. So I was in debt for not doing my homework, even though it should have either been excused or else I should have, you know, gotten extra time since I wasn't able to. Like, literally, it's not my choice. I don't own the airport, Karen. I'm sorry if you think that I make millions of dollars doing YouTube with the 60 subscribers that I currently have. I'm sorry if you think that I make millions of dollars doing YouTube and that I can just, you know, go out and buy a freaking airport, and then we're just gonna go there and fly on our private jet all the way to freaking Moscow, fill the other, like, and then fly back to freaking Paris, and then we're gonna fly over to to Hawaii, and then we're gonna, like, I'm sorry that, like, I don't own an airport and a private jet and just, you know, are like, you know what, I just want you to say that I can't bring my backpack, that way, you know, I don't have to do my schoolwork. Like, I don't own the airport, Karen. Like, respect the drip, Karen, okay? Respect the drip. And so, I mean, I didn't say it out loud, but, you know, she's like, she's acting like I own the airport, and, like, I told them that I don't want them to allow me to bring my backpack. Like, I was personally wanting to bring it. That way I would not have been too far behind. And I mean, I didn't say it out loud, but, you know, still. But, you know, I was like, well, now, like, I'm in debt for not doing my homework or whatever, and I don't know what to do. And my mom was like, well, I don't know. But, you know, it was kind of stupid because, like, My mom sent her the email afterwards, like after I got back, instead of just sending it to her while I was gone. But still, the teacher made the lesson plan before I was even gone and everything. And she was like, well, you should have done that. You should have, like, you know, you shouldn't have asked me for the lesson plan if you weren't going to bring your backpack. And like I said, I don't own an airport care, and I don't make millions of dollars doing YouTube. In fact, I'll have you know that I literally make no money. With 60 subscribers, I make no money at all doing YouTube. I make YouTube videos, and I make more YouTube videos, and I literally have not made a single penny so far. Literally. And I'm like, I'm not even doing YouTube for the money. You know, if I make money doing YouTube, cool, you know, I'll be able to afford food and a house, and, you know, I'll be able to actually live a life. But, you know, like, I literally have, like, with 60 subscribers, and, like, I don't know, but, like, 60 subscribers, I don't make any money at all. So, you know, so I'm like, well, I mean, I didn't say it, but, you know, I'm thinking, I didn't ask you to make a lesson plan. That was my mom who emailed you, and I never said anything to you about making a lesson plan. You're the one who chose to do it instead of being like, hey, are you going to be able to bring your backpack? And I, like, literally, that was my mom, so, and now I'm getting punished for my mom emailing her, being like, hey, make a lesson plan, and I didn't know where I was going, so I didn't know necessarily whether I was going to be able to bring my backpack or not. So, you know, like I said, it was a surprise vacation, so now I'm in debt, and I've got, like, I don't know, but, like, yesterday, I really don't know, but, you know, now I'm in debt, like, $60, like, 60 Karen bucks. Now I'm in debt, like, 60 Karen bucks, and I don't know, so I had to end up applying for a job, and I don't want to do that, because I just want to be able to do, I don't want to do freaking jobs and crap. This is school. This isn't, like, this isn't freaking, this isn't my house, okay? This isn't my house. This is my school that I go to learn and get an education. I go there and I get an education. I go to school to learn and get an education. Not, like, freaking pay taxes and be like, oh, what's up, government? Here's all my freaking money. This is Karen bucks anyway, so she's being a little freaking tyrant, and I'm honestly sick and tired of it, and I don't want to do it. Still, I just want to go to the class and learn English. I don't want to go to the class and start paying taxes. And, like, about half to three-fourths of the class is just about Karen bucks. It's not even about English. So I'm like, you know what, I'll just go report it to, like, the dean, and I'll be like, you know, the majority of, like, our class, we are not even learning English. We're just sitting here talking about Karen bucks, which she's using instead of using, you know, school dollars. And, like, I want to go report it to the dean, but, you know, I don't feel like I have the appropriate, I don't feel like, you know, I don't know. But, you know, it's stupid, and I'm pretty mad. But, you know, I'm still in debt, like, $60. And also, since, you know, so basically, like, I don't know how much later, but there was a test that I missed while I was gone. Like, and I was doing my starter or warm-up or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it warm-up for the purposes of the story, just because I feel like saying that. And she was, like, I was doing it, and I was about to get to the standard review part, and she was like, you need to stop what you're doing and go do your test, which is on my computer. And so I'm like, alright. So I stopped doing my warm-up, and I get out my computer, and I log into the website. I go there, and I log into the website. I go to the course, like, I go to the, like, you know, class, the course that I'm in, my English, and I you know, I click on the test and I do the test, like I'm doing the test, and she's like, why is your standard review not done? And I'm like I just sat there like I didn't say anything because I didn't know what to say. Like, you just said stop what you're doing and do your test that you missed, and now you're fussing at me for not doing my test. I mean, for not doing my standard review, even though you literally just said to do my test. And I don't say anything because I'm like, well, the standard review is like a paragraph. And then my mom gets an email, well, you know, so she's like, all right, you know, I'm giving you a second chance. And I'm like, all right, I'll, you know, I don't say it, but I'm just thinking like, you know, I'll just do it after the test, because, you know, and like, she told me to stop and do the test, so I'm like, I'll do it after the test. Like, I didn't say it out loud, but, you know, I just kept doing my test, and I ended up getting like a B on the test, but, you know, I didn't really care. I didn't really care in. I don't know, that was a bad joke, I just felt like saying that. But, you know, I ended up getting like a B on the test, and, you know, like, I don't know, like, right before I finished, well, no, like a couple questions before I finished, she came back over and she was like, is your standard review done? And she flipped over to the paper and she saw that it wasn't done, and she's like, why is it not done? And again, I didn't really say anything because I didn't know what to say. Like, she said, stop what you're doing. Stop everything that you were doing. Put everything that you were doing to a halt. If you are breathing, put that to a halt. If you are, if you're, you know, trying to, like, I don't know, if you're trying to eat or breathe oxygen or drink a drink or, like, you know, tie your shoes or something, I don't know, something, I don't know. But anyways, she was like, put that to a halt, stop doing that and do your test, because, you know, you need to do your test since you missed it. And I was like, alright, well, she wants me to do my test, so I stopped everything I was doing and I did my test. So I started doing my test, and like I said, you know, she came back over and she's like, why is it still not done? And I didn't say anything because I didn't know what to say. I was like, I was just thinking she said to stop and do my test, so I stopped and did my test, and now she's fussing at me for it, so I don't know what she wants me to do. So I end up, you know, I don't know, she ends up, like, you know, giving me, well, like I said, I already got like 2 yellow cards for not doing my homework or whatever, even though I should have gotten more time or whatever. But, you know, she ends up, like, you know, giving me another yellow card, which it's not even a yellow card, it's a red card now, because, like, I guess 3 yellow cards is like 2 yellow cards and 1 red card. So after you get like 2 yellow cards, then the next one you get would be a red card. So, yeah, you're kind of fricked, because that's an LD, that's a lunch detention. So, I'm like, my mom gets an email saying that I got lunch detention, and she's like, I'm up there doing my math that I missed, and she's like, why did you get lunch detention today? And I'm like, I didn't, I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, well then, why did I get an email from the school saying that you got lunch detention? And I'm like, I don't know, because, and she's like, stop lying to me. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I didn't even realize that a red card was a lunch detention at the time, because I had never gotten a red card before. And she was like, you know, well, my mom was like, stop lying to me. Why did you get lunch detention? And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I have no clue what you're talking about. And she was like, I've received an email from your English teacher saying that you refused to do your work and that you just don't feel like writing a paragraph, and that's why you didn't do it. And, you know, like, you know, I just didn't feel like writing a paragraph, and that's why I didn't write my standard review. And I'm like, you know, that's not what happened. I finished my warm-up, except for my standard review, and I was about to do it, and then she said to me, stop everything you're doing, put everything you're doing to a halt, and do your test that you missed. And I'm like, alright, you know, so, like, honestly, I didn't mind writing the standard review. It's just that she said, do your test that you missed. So I'm like, okay, do my test that I missed. Gotcha, Roger that. So, you know, I'm going and doing my test. And so, and my mom's like, so you're saying that she said to stop doing everything that you were doing and, you know, do your test. And I'm like, yes. And she's like, well, you know, I don't know, but like I didn't remember it. Well, no, I don't know. I didn't remember it. Like I didn't remember that I even got a red card, and I also didn't remember. Well, I didn't know. Actually, not that I didn't remember. I just didn't know that a red card was a lunch detention. I just thought that it gave you more debt, but no, it gives you more debt and it's a lunch detention. So I'm like, all right, well, my mom's like, at this point, I don't believe anything you're saying anymore because you refused to tell me why you got a lunch detention. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, woman. Like, I have no clue what you're talking about. What do you mean? Like, what? Like, she said, I don't believe anything that you're telling me anymore because you refuse to tell me why you got a lunch detention. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, I didn't know that, you know, red card was a lunch detention. She was like, you know, you refused to do your standard review. And I'm like, yes, and I'm like, no. She said to stop everything you're doing and work on my test that I missed. And I was like, okay. And I stopped everything I was doing. I was about to write my standard review. I stopped everything I was doing, and I worked on my test. And she kept on fussing at me, saying, why is your standard review not done? And she's like, my mom is like, and she also said that, you know, when asked why it wasn't done, you didn't give an answer. And I was like, yes, I did not give an answer because I was speechless because of how freaking high this woman is, freaking drinking some party water over here, having a good time. Bitch, it's been her fun, I don't even know anymore, cause like, but then again, like, so I'm like, so she emailed my teacher back and she's like, he said that you said to stop everything you were doing, and blah, 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 all that. And, you know, the next day, and my mom was like, she said she's going to talk to you today, and she said, like, you know, I was supposed to do it during downtime or whatever, and I was like, I don't know what that is, but, you know, whatever. And my mom was like, she said she's going to talk to you today and tell you what it is or whatever. And I was like, alright. So, after school, my teacher is like, you were supposed to do it after we finished the warm-up, and I was like, okay, well, I didn't know that. And she was like, well, now you know. And I was like, alright. And I mean, she seemed pretty chill. She didn't seem like super care-any about it. And I was like, you know, she didn't seem super care-any about it, and I don't know. So, yeah. But, you know, then, like, she still gave me the debt. Like, she didn't let me out on the debt. Like, I didn't understand what she was talking about. And then she explained it to me, but I still had the debt. And it's not my fault that I don't know what downtime is. Like, I know what downtime is on, like, video games. Like, I know what downtime is on video games. Like, when the servers are down and you can't play because they're doing, like, an update or whatever. But downtime in school, I've never heard of it. Because, like, in real life, I've never heard of downtime where the servers are... I'm just imagining some astronauts up in space who get put into hypersleep, and then NASA's like, please excuse us for this temporary downtime for the next 3 months. I'm sorry that you think that, you know, school is a server. But I still live in debt, and I don't know, but like the past 2 days, like today and like yesterday, she wasn't caring. She was pretty nice. So I don't know. But you know, guys, I don't know. I will see you guys next time. Alright, guys, bye. And also, guys, I noticed that this has been like a really long story time, and I'm sorry for that. I don't know how long it's been, but I just know that it's been like a really long time. 39 minutes. I thought it was been like over an hour already, but you know. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am, and I will see you guys next time. Alright guys, bye.